3 by 3 is a state initiative to maximize the growth and learning potential for students in grades K through 3. My favorite part about tutoring is the one-on-one connection I was able to build with students. It was more intimate than a small group setting, so I could really see a student's personal growth, not only through reading comprehension, and reading fluency, but had a chance to see them grow up and develop, and hopefully foster a love for reading and learning.
I, U, U, E, A, O, Z, O, K, J, O, X, Z, G, J, S, Z, W, P, Ch, B, T, D, K, H, W, N, Y, I, E, J, Ch, S, M, Sh, Qu, K, S, V, F. I think the kids have gained a lot of confidence in working one-on-one or in small groups with me as a tutor and with the other AmeriCorps tutors. They first came into our sessions lacking confidence because they were basically struggling readers, and as we worked together and they learned more, they became much more confident, and they began looking forward more to the sessions and getting excited about learning and wanting to share their knowledge with both me and with their family and friends. So it's been encouraging to see the growth from timid, uncertain readers to confident, enjoyable readers.
What kind of syllable is this?
I think it's closed because the door is closed.
Great. So what does that mean for the vowel?
It says it's sound.
Right. And what sound does this vowel make? O? No, it's nervous.
Like octopus.
Good.
So it says
Got.
got.
Yay. Okay, so when we open the syllable, what does it do to the vowel, Hannah?
It makes it say its name.
What's the name of the vowel?
Oh,
Yeah. So why does it say its name? What kind of syllable is it?
it's an open syllable.
Good. So what does this say?
Go.
Yay, Hannah.
A syllable is a word or a part of a word with one vowel sound. With School 58, I think it's the culture of the school. The leadership here is very nice. We've been integrated into the community very well. And I feel like they really just care about us and think of us as a normal part of the staff, and I really appreciate that.
And so one of the words was table. He, found each letter. It was like, oh, the LE, consonant LE is a syllable type. You'll learn it in second grade. He was like, but I learned it now.
So like closed, it's simple, it's automatic, everybody knows it, they pick it up like that.
Actually, I like a good open syllable.
Favorite syllable, definitely vowel teams. Teamwork. It's important.
My favorite syllable type is Magic E because, well, he's magic. And I have this whole little story that I like to tell the kids. Consonants. There's a whole lot more consonants in the alphabet than there are vowels. So that makes the vowels pretty nervous because even though they really shouldn't be nervous, like they're just as cool as the consonants, they don't really feel that, especially when there's so many consonants around them. You know, they feel like a first grader going to a high school party. So, you know, just imagine these like scary high school consonants and these little kid vowels. And so the consonant gets pretty annoyed with the vowel sometimes. So, you know, the one on the end, he might come over and say, "Hey, be quiet." And so then the vowel gets really nervous. And he's just like, ah. So he gets super nervous. Well, you know, the consonant has to take a bathroom break or something sometimes. So he goes away. And when he goes away, the vowel is like not as nervous anymore because he might be there by himself or he might be there with just one other consonant. He can handle that. So he's totally cool. He gets loud again and he's just like, "Oh!" or "Hey!" And so they have enough big, wide open space to say their name until the consonant comes back over and he's like, "I thought I told you to be quiet." Well, Magic E shows up, okay? Now, when Magic E comes to town, people listen because he's magic. And he can do magical things like turn consonants into garbage if they're not nice to their vowel friends. So, the Magic E comes over and he's like, "Hey, you know, that's my cousin over there. He's not magical like I am, but I'm magic, so watch your back. If you don't let my cousin speak up and say his name, then I will turn you into a sandwich." And then he's like, "I'm just going to be over here real quiet like, because I don't like to socialize a whole lot, but you go ahead, do your thing, cousin." So.
Me. Met. Hop. Hope. Bird. Team. Bowl. Table.
What about able? It helps you when you get to high school because like you're gonna have to do biology.
I like reading because you get to go on adventures and stuff like that. Read right there.
Reading, I've always thought of reading as a passport. You can open up a book and go anywhere in the world. You can go anywhere in the universe. So for some students who their world is just the 4 or 5 blocks that they live in, being able to become a fluent reader opens up doors. It teaches you how to use your imagination, how to think outside the box, not just reading for information, but for reading for enjoyment. They both are bridges, I feel, that can be the way out of poverty under certain circumstances and conditions.
Something that you'll see a lot in IPS schools is children with behavior issues. And something that I have learned is that most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, these behavior issues stem from something else. And you don't have to know what that something else is. It could be something as simple as a kid saying something mean to them on the bus, or it could go deeper than that and be that they're not getting enough food or enough sleep or enough love. You don't really know what these kids' stories are. If a kid is having behavioral issues and you're trying to work with them, something that I found that worked pretty well one time was a child came in a bad mood, and I knew that he wasn't going to learn while he was in a bad mood because, you know, when you have all these pressures up against you as a child, you stay in fight or flight mode. If you are in fight or flight mode, then you're not learning. Your brain isn't ready to learn. Your brain is ready to go somewhere else or get in a fight. That's what that means. So when this child came to me with a bad mood, instead of forcing him into a lesson when I knew he wasn't going to learn anything, I had him write down what was bothering him on some Post-it notes. And I told him, you know, I was having a bad morning too, and I was going to do the same thing. And so he wrote down all of our problems on these Post-it notes, and then we took them and we shredded them up and we carried them to the trash can. We threw them in, and we were like, goodbye bad feelings, goodbye bad feelings, goodbye bad feelings. And it really worked. He put a smile on his face. He came back to my table and he was ready to learn. So instead of getting frustrated with children whenever they come to you with bad attitudes, recognize that it's probably stemming from something else, and recognizing that you can't fix that something else all the time, but there are ways to get them where they need to be to learn.
Something in the past 2 years that we've really experienced is that these are good kids and good families and great teachers and administrators who are doing the best that they can with what they have. And a lot of times I've just been amazed by how well a lot of these students are overcoming a lot of boundaries that they have. And I mean, they're all just normal kids.
So, a couple success stories. First grade, I think, is going really well. We had our last after-school tutoring, and we did a big celebration on Thursday. So, just hearing from their parents and from the teachers of how much success they've had in the classroom after just being, you know, in after-school tutoring for an hour, I think that's a good thing that we've accomplished.
My name is Joy Bush, and I'm Samuel Jones' mom, second grade, room 104. And I think the reading program was really tremendous for him this year. Last year, he kind of struggled with being nervous in first grade, new teacher, and it's kind of harder for him to read. So this year, he's reading 107 words a minute. The one-on-one time is very good, and I hope they'll have it next year.
At the beginning, it was a little intimidating because, well, you have to remember that you already know the material, but you have to learn a different way of learning it and teaching it. And so it can be a little overwhelming at times, but don't be afraid to make mistakes. Just kind of jump in until you get it.
Expect the unexpected, because it might seem obvious to you and it might seem very clear, but to a kid, it is not going to be that. They will say and do things in the blending drill that you will have no idea at all where that came from. And you just need to be ready for that and expect it and not let it frustrate you or trip you up.
The first time, sometimes you might feel like you don't know how to read. I felt like that. But you got it, stick with it, just keep practicing.
I love reading, I love tutoring, and I think this is a great program.